Yo, what's up guys, I'm back, got a review for you. This time we have probably the most special one in my heart for this year, unless I get a better Red Camp 90 Neymar. Now, this is just such an amazing thing to have 3 weeks in the FIFA, but we'll go through his stats then. So he's 5'9", got the high medium work rate, he's got the right foot with the 5-star skills, 5-star weak foot. In the 25 match I played with him, I got 17 goals and 12 assists, which is very good considering he's playing alongside Messi as striker. As you see, by his alternate positions, he can also play left mid, so no left wing, which is a little bit annoying because a lot of formations are left wing, but he's still got the left mid, so that's not too bad. On stats then, so he's got 88 pace, 85 shooting, 86 passing, 94 dribbling, and 63 physical, so on paper obviously looks like an amazing card. I decided to go the Hunt Kemptel on him, just to boost that pace and shooting up a little bit. As you can see by his traits, he's got that outside the full shot, the flare trait, and also the injury prone trait. But if you do enjoy the clips or want to see more, please subscribe. It generally does help the channel out a lot. And I'll see you after the positive negatives. Peace.
Messing with my head again. You had your heart set on me, but these feels, they come and go, and they come so easily. Tell me what it is about you that I can't forget, but you're breaking down my walls again, just to set me free. Why do I, baby, why do I love the way you always leave me? Why do I, baby, why do I love the touch but never love the feeling? Why do I, baby, why do I love the way you always leave me? Why do I, baby, why do I love the touch but never love the feeling? Staying up when I go out, you gotta know I'm all yours. But when I say what's that about, you start slurring your words. Tell me why you have to seem so distant when I'm holding you. Your fingertips are drifting away, and I fucking love how it hurts. Why do I, baby, why do I love the way you always leave me? Why do I, baby, why do I love the touch but never love the feeling? Why do I, baby, why do I love the way you always leave me? Why do I, baby, why do I love the touch but never love the feeling? Why do I, baby, why do why do I, baby, why do why do I, baby, why do I love the touch but never love the feeling?
So what's my overall thoughts about this card then? Now, this card is such a dream to use. Him and Messi, this is why I'm actually contemplating having 2 accounts this year, and now this is my sweat account, so I can try and go like 20-0 or something like that on it. just because these two are so good and they can carry me so easily. Like, they are absolute goats of cards. So first we'll get through it then. So first me is the 5-star skills, 5-star weak foot. Now this is just desirable on any card. This is what you want of a card. The 5-star skills so silky Neymar, especially at 94 dribbling, and the 5-star weak foot is also hand in hand very nice. So it's very unpredictable on where he's going to go or what he's going to do, which is just one of Neymar's best attributes. Now, next is the pace. Now, overall for pace, it's not really electric this year, don't get me wrong, but he's not slow at the same time, and the Hunter Chem style will definitely boost it up, and he will be able to burst for on goal when you need him to. But obviously, he's not the fastest like he used to be. Now, the shooting for me, overall, really good to be fair. But the shot power was a little bit inconsistent along with the finishing. It's been butchered this year compared to previous years because he's only got 81 shot power, which I think last year, if I remember correctly, he had 83 base on his gold card. So it is a little bit butchered, but it is still very good, and he still will whack a shot if you want him to. That's why I just recommend the Hunter Chem style just to boost that finishing up a bit. Now the passing for me, depending on where you play him, it's amazing. If you play him striker, that passing is going to be so good for those 1-2s over the top. You name it, you can do it. For Cam, still very good with that 90 vision and stuff like that. But overall, he's more suited for a striker, I'd say. But obviously, you can play him Cam if you want him to. Now, this is where I feel like this Neymar card comes into his own. The dribbling attributes. 94 agility with a 96 dribbling with the 5-star skills. All together just go around really nice. And he's just so silky. Probably one of the most silky cards I'll ever use. But I feel like on actual agility wise, Messi feels a lot like smoother. But because he's got the 5-star skills, his Neymar card just adds a little bit like bit pizzazz, shall we say, to get through on goal. Now the balance for me is a little bit low because he's got really low strength and he will get pushed off quite easily. But he's got the high ball control, so he'll keep the ball really close and tight to him with the skills. It just goes really nicely together. Now, this for me is one of his key attributes, and this is composure. Now, although the finishing isn't the highest, the 94 composure definitely makes up for it, and he will definitely be very clinical in front of goal because of that. And also, the Trivellometer is really strong on this card, as you've seen in some of the clips. But as I said, the 94 composure is just so lethal. Now, unfortunately, this is where Neymar's downfall happens a little bit, but one of the attributes isn't that bad. Now, the head accuracy and jumping, really bad to be honest, especially at 5'9". Not really going to be an aerial threat, you need to stay away from that, but obviously you wouldn't expect that with Neymar. Now, the stamina actually isn't that bad on this card, to be fair. 82 base is actually quite decent, and this is why you probably could play him Cam if you really wanted to. It just allows him to have like positioning to like move up and down the pitch with the stamina, but I recommend you have him on stay forward if you want him to. But generally speaking, he can go back and forward if you need to. He just might run out around the 80th minute, bearing in where you're playing. Now, the strength for me and aggression are quite low. The balance goes against it slightly, but because he's so small, he's not really going to be like challenging the big centre backs on strength and stuff like that, so he will get pushed off from time to time. But obviously, with close control dribbling, it's not going to happen a lot of the time. But that's all my overall thoughts. Now let's get to overall scores. So, on to my overall thoughts about this card then. Now, let's get straight into it on the pace. Now, as I said at the start, he's not really the fastest of card, but don't get me wrong, he still will be able to burst from goal when you need him to. So, overall for the pace, I'm going to give it a solid 8.5 out of 10. He's quick, don't get me wrong, but he's not as fast as he used to be, so that's why I'm going to give it 8.5. Now, the shooting for me, he's got the 5-star weaver, he's got the absolute insane composure, he's got decent finishing and good attack position. It's just that long shots and also shot power that let it down a little bit. But overall for that, I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. For the start of the year, it is still very solid, and overall, he's got some very nice attributes about it. Now, the passing for me, now this is all dependent on where you play him. If you could play him strike, I would give him an 8 out of 10. Probably a Cam, I'll give it more like a 7 because he's got like okay short pass and okay long pass as well. But overall, 8 out of 10 if you play him striker. Now, the drilling for me, I'm going to give it a 9.5 out of 10. I feel like stats can maybe be boosted, maybe the balance just to like steady him up a little bit at times. The reaction is a little bit higher, but other than that, it's a stellar card for dribbling. Generally, you're not going to find much better maybe over than Messi and stuff like that, but obviously Messi doesn't have the 5-star skills like Neymar does, so it kind of balances out a little bit. Now, onto my physical attributes. Now, it's only the stamina that's really good about this card, but the stamina is the most important one of the physicals. So overall for that, I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. The rest of the attributes are very average, and he will get pushed off very much. But that being said, the stamina is the one that matters. So overall, 7 out of 10. Now, on to my overall score then. Now, I think so far I've given Messi a 9.6, 9.7 on the gold card because it was so good when I used it. Mbappe 9.8, and I think that's the highest I've gave so far. So I think this Neymar card is Probably just a bit better than Messi card, but I can't give it too much high, so I'm going to give him, for the start of the game, I'm going to give it a 9.7 out of 10. I just think he's really, really good, but he's not really the fastest card, and he's also got the low shot power. Maybe after another inform, he's going to like a 9.9, but overall, I still feel like he's a 9.7. So on value for coins then, so I think he's coming in at around 1.3 million, around the same price as Mbappe, and I personally feel like Mbappe is still better, but don't get it twisted, this card is still amazingly good. So overall value for coins, I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. I do genuinely think he is going to be worth the coins, and he will score a lot of goals with him. But you're going to have a God squad around him to be able to afford that. Because he's not going to be like the one-man carry like Mbappe can be. But overall, he's still an amazing card. I need to keep saying it because he is so good, this card is. And if you have the coins or have the players around him, definitely go pick him up. But that's all my viewers. Always hope you enjoyed. If you did, please do subscribe. It generally does help the channel a lot. But I've got nothing more to say, so I'll see you next video and peace out, guys.